It's week 2 of the National Football League, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Browns and the Steelers on Monday Night Prime Time.
At the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Tonight, it's the second of our Monday night doubleheader, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by their 7th-year quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Now the 3rd-year man, Najee Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. The Steelers had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. With Harris out of the shotgun. He's still on his feet. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Now it's Taylor. That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown Steelers. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the... And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. Pass midfield, look out. Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, there you go. They gave up a score to start the game, and as quick as they could get it back, they did on the return.
And people talk about this all the time, whether you're coaching it, whether you're trying to work on it, whether you're just trying to put in the minds of your players. Attack back as fast as you can after giving up a score.
And now it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one, because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It was Myles Garrett that time who got in there and brought him down. Here now a 3rd and 20. This is Harris on the draw. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here's Presley Harvin now. Fielded at the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning. He's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team.
And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Man open, here is Jones. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A very solid gain of 27. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Oh, he bowls over it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. They'll look to throw here. This will be caught just inside the 10. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now Chubb running right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on a flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Back to throw here. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The last 3 plays have resulted in gains of 1, 2, and now 3 yards here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. They're going to look to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Boy, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. That was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
Chubb. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Hopkins' kick is good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now Taylor out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Down the right sideline. Escapes the defender. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 26. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So a little late drama in the first half as that kick will give them the lead into intermission.
Isn't this fun the way that this is unfolding? You're exactly right. The late drama, 3 points go up on the board, and we go into the half with a new leader.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around.
Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And bulldozing his way through. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Now, they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I established the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
2nd down and 4. They run it again with Chubb. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Wiggles free. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
They'll run for it. Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Up the middle, it's Chubb. Pushes him over. And powering through at the 35. Still on his feet. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide, not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Flush to his right. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Taylor's throwing into the hands of Pickens. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Escaping the pressure right. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss... All right, rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Chubb with the first down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. That's going to back them up almost a full 10 yards. It's going to be a loss of 9 officially, and it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Steelers down by 7. A little under 2.5 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now Taylor sliding out of the pocket. That's caught downfield by Pickens. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor flushed out right. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Now Taylor eluding the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Taylor steps away to his left. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And in for the Steelers touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a 1st down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the 1st down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. Now it's Taylor. He'll buy some time right. And he is in for the 2. I still can't believe they went for it, but they've got themselves a lead here late in the ballgame. Well, they had guts to go for that, and they got it. Now, if you're the defense, you feel some major pressure, don't you?
Well, they put it on you, haven't they? They've told you that you are the unit they believe in. We'll find out now if they can make it hold up. But, boy, just going for it in that spot.
I know, right?
Amazing.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now the attention, it turns to the Browns. Trailing by 1 after the two-point conversion. A little over a minute to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Into space at the 45. Still fighting through tackles. And he will get out of bounds here as well. What a play. Big yardage. They stop the clock. And they move it to the boundary of field goal range as well. He's back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He put that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that made him save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now they'll change things around before the snap. They go with Chubb on second down. Pushing two tacklers at the 30. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6. They'll roll him out right. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And they get the timeout called here. It comes with 1 second remaining on the clock. So now it all comes down to Dustin Hopkins. This to put an end to a wild Monday night. And he got it. The kick is gone, and a fantastic finish here on a Monday night. And it's pandemonium in the dog pound as the Browns are going to win the football game. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So for Cleveland, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll drop to 0-2, and they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gault.